weird are we? How weird are we? Put two Arab guys together and have them talk for 5 minutes about their parents. It'll turn into a competition over who used to get beat harder by their father growing up. My father used to hit me with the branch of the tree. My father used to hit me with the tree. And then he would shoot my mother to teach me a lesson. It's just a violent... Watch, how many people here were beaten by their parents growing up? How many people? That's how the only people in the world that give an enthusiastic response to how many people were beaten growing up are us. I learned the hard way never to do that joke in front of an all-white audience. I remember I was like, who here was beaten up growing up by their parents? Oh my God! I was 4 years old when my father, oh my God! His friends grouped around him, hold hands, everybody, hold hands. It's okay. It's okay, Jeremy, let it out, it's healthy. Hold hands. Hold. My father shouted at me in front of everybody. It's like, and? What do you mean, and? Like, he didn't, like, hit you, throw you off the balcony, tell you weren't his, try to give you to the neighbors, say he was taking you in as a favor? None of that? It's like, no, what are you, an animal? I'm like, no, I'm Lebanese. We've been over this. Pay attention. I can't wait to have kids of my own so I can pass down what my dad taught me. I'll do that. My dad was a genius with the way he would use the belt. That was his weapon, the belt. How many people, anybody had the belts? Do we have any belt people here? We got a few? Look at that, enthusiastic reply. Sir, you had the belt? You had the belt, look at him, he looks great. You look fantastic. His father beat fashion into him. Listen, this is how my father was better than your father though, but you should be proud, your dad did a great job. My dad was a genius. He wouldn't get the, my dad would make me go get the belt. That's where the genius lies. Go get the belt. No, Papa, please, get me the belt or I will kick your ass. Okay? Which is very confusing because that's how you're gonna get your ass kicked. And I go get the belt and I give it to him. He's like, go get me the brown one. I'd be like, you son of a bitch, I have to go get a different color. Come back. Then when your parents beat you, when your dad's beating you, the way he talks changes. Becomes one word per hit. How? Many times did I? Which is good, because halfway through you're like, he's almost done. You start to feel good. I'm a survivor. You start to feel good. And at that moment when you start to feel hope, that's when your mother decides to defend you from outside the door. Stop it, Joseph! Stop it! Stop it, DM! Stop it! It's because of you! I must... Like, could we have this conversation later, please? He was almost done. Don't talk to your mother like that. I will... Never ends. Never ends. I want people to come to where I grew up and experience the glory of the Lebanese father. They'll have the same phone for like 15 years. They're proud. You get a new phone, look at you, I have this phone for 15 years. 15 years, look how good it is. Hello? Hello? Charge it, it's dead, the battery. Never forgot, I got my dad an iPhone a few years ago. Got him an iPhone for his birthday, I was so excited. I give him the phone, he looks at it, he's like, you got me a mirror? You know, Dad, it's a phone. Really? Really? No, but what do I shout at it? What do I do? Like, no, Dad, it's a touch phone. You touch the phone. He's like, he throws the phone. I'm like, what's wrong? He's like, 33 years I touched no one but your mother. Now you want me? Dad, it's a touch. I show him how to use it. He was so amazed. He's like, these Americans, Barack Obama, this is... It's made in China, but sure, okay, what? I teach him how to use the phone. We go through the ritual, which I think is universal, where you have to help your parents choose the ringtone. It takes about 2.5 to 3 hours on average. Cycle through oh no, go back. No, this one was good. Oof, this is not. Oof, yeah, do you remember this song? This was, can we put it on CD? I like this, put in the car. Until we finally decide on the default ringtone that comes with the iPhone. But it's okay. I won't have to do this for another 30, 40 years. It's fine. He's my dad. What's important is he's happy. I leave the house. I get in my car. I'm driving away. I'm like, you know what? I want to call my dad. First phone call. So I pick up the phone. I call him. It rings. No answer. As an Arab, if you call a loved one and they don't answer, they're dead. This is what it means. It's not our fault. It's our moms. They overreact. Let me call my son. He was such a good boy. Start wearing black. You come back home. Hello, mom. I will kill you. But I was like, Nimmer, push down the Arab side, bring up the American. Relax, you got this. I waited like 10 minutes, called him again. He didn't answer. Now he's dead. There's no way. There's no possible reaction. There's no other. So I start driving back to my dad's house, calling constantly, ringing. In my mind, I'm like, what do I do? My mom wasn't in the country. I was like, do I tell mom dad's dead? Or do I tell her I can't cook some Lebanese like mshadra? And then she comes and I'm like, good news, I can cook mshadra. I was like, oh my boy. I'm like, but dad's dead. Oh my God. I mean, like, what do I get to my dad's house. I get in front of the door and I'm like, Nimmer, every guy has to go through this. Be a man, you'll mourn later. I put the key in the door, and just before I open it, I'm like, let me try one more time. I call him, I hear the phone ringing, and I hear a weird shuffling noise, and then it stops, and I'm like, that was it. That was his last. I prepared myself to walk in, see him on the floor, hand outstretched, just within reach of the phone. I put in the key, took a deep breath, I opened the door, and I saw my dad standing in the hallway, just sweating from head to toe, holding the phone. Like, Dad, why aren't you answering? He's like, what is this piece of tech I should throw? Like, what's wrong? He's like, it tells me slide to answer. I'm doing this and this and this. What am I, Michael Jackson? Just lost it.